And here with CrossFit Garage, where intensity is king and routine is your enemy. And I am going to do this slightly, well, maybe not different. I'm going to go back to, I'm a new person. I just walked into CrossFit. I'm maybe a week, 2 weeks into it. And I'm adding one issue, like I have got, I don't know, let's go with a shoulder issue from something, some smart thing we did as a kid. So I just started CrossFit. I'm in my mid 30s, maybe early 40s, and I've got some sort of shoulder issue. So we can look at these workouts. And again, I told you we are currently pulling from Comp Train. And a real quick history on Comp Train is, so a long time ago, CrossFit.com, everyone just followed CrossFit.com. They started programming for elite, the people going to the Open and the Games, or just making it really hard and ridiculous, because those that went to the games would say, "Oh, I did way more than CrossFit.com. I run and I lift and I do CrossFit.com." So anyway, so the cycle of gyms got into more skill work, then it became more Olympic lifting work, then you had your own Ollie classes, and we have our own Olympic lifting coach, and then it became strength focused, and then they were forgetting about CrossFit, and so there's been a big swing back to, if CrossFit is true and intensity is king, then let's go with intensity. And CrossFit Comptrain.com or .co got it right for a long time, and many gyms follow them. We are currently following them for maybe the end of the month, and then we'll move over to .com and then back into Josh's programming, because again, routine is the enemy. And here are the workouts. So we're just going to go straight off of CompTrain so you can see all the cool stuff they put in there. So there is going to be some back squats. You can see that there. I'm brand new, I got a shoulder issue, this should be fine. Being brand new, I see this 3 sets of 5. So what does that mean to me? There's going to be a build up, some warm up, and then I'm going to hit the 3 heaviest sets of 5 that I can. Now, if I'm brand new, I don't really know what that's going to be. So what you'd want to do is warm up and build up to a spot that makes sense in terms of weight. So maybe you get to 100 pounds, you're like, yeah, I haven't really done this in a long time, so I'm just going to do 3 sets of 5 at 100 and just leave it. Or maybe in the last week or two that you've been at the gym, or maybe you've been there for 3 weeks, you've kind of get an idea of, your muscles have come back together, I'm not too sore, so maybe I'll push it a little bit. But you may not go as heavy as you possibly can go because you're brand new. The big thing here is to get to depth, and that depth, let me find a picture of this. Here we go, and this is from CrossFit's main channel, or their own channel. So you see his hip crease is below his knee bend, and that's what we want. Some of you guys will go deeper than that, and that's fine too. You'll do less weight, but it's actually better. I would rather see you have too much range of motion, which there really is no such thing, and be able to do less weight. Now, if you went all the way down and you're like as far as you could and your back rounded out, then that's not good. But this is what we're looking for right here. So that new guy is going to say, yeah, I can do this. It's not on my shoulder. Well, it's on my shoulder, but not like impeding my shoulder. So I can do my back squat. I'm brand new still, so I'm only going to do a weight that makes sense. I'm not really going to push it all the way because I'm new. For those that are not brand new, then, of course, you're going to warm up, do a heavy set of 5, and either stick it that way, or if you messed it up, you're like, yeah, I could have done more, then go ahead and do a little bit more. So time will be of the essence on this. You don't want to spend too much time in there, but you do want to get a set of 3 sets of 5. And in CompTrain, you can even click on their back squat, seeing that they give you 15 minutes, and same sort of stuff that I was saying. So you can either build up to a heavy set in those 5 sets, or choose one weight and stick with it. And then, of course, we'll record the results in Wodify. Now, the cool thing about CompTrain is they actually give coaches some ideas on what to do for warm-up and mobility and activation. You can also look through this, too. There's something that may key off to you to say, yeah, that's what I need. I need that issue, that bit, right? And then it talks about some of the teaching aspects. Usually, when you're coaching, these make a lot of sense. It's what you would do anyway, but it's nice to read it as an athlete or a member to say, oh, okay, these are kind of why they're doing it and what they're looking for. So I like that they always put in there a rehearsal. I love the rehearsal bits, and then the strategy, of course. So looking back at this as a member that's been around for maybe 2 to 4 weeks, air squats to depth will probably be pretty tough because that's something that you're not used to. So you might want to even squat to a medicine ball. 30 ab mat sit-ups. So the nice part about a sit-up is you can just lay back and relax and rest when you need to. So that shouldn't be the place of pain for someone who's been here for maybe 5 years. They know that, okay, this is probably almost a rest section because it's not something that's going to take an incredible amount of effort. Now we don't have assault bike, so they offer some substitutions, and we'll be taking the 200-meter run out the door and back in. So a nice bit in here that they said that you guys would want to work on, especially if being brand new, is how to use the rest of your body to help those sit-ups. So you can start ramping up your intensity by having your arms throw or lead in the sit-up, and that helps a tremendous amount. You can even go and look at the air squats and see how people use their arms to help them kind of move. Now, you don't want to actually put your arms on your thighs and push. That's not, I know they do that at the games, but that is not what we want to do. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so this is a really good example of how, like we did last week, massage the numbers so that you don't get caught never getting to the pull-ups. For example, you have got, for guys, 27 calorie row, and then 27 burpees and 27 chest to bar pull-ups. On that 27, if you can't get into the pull-ups, then simply reduce the numbers. We don't want you to never get into a gymnastics component so you can't practice it. We want you to get there. So you want to adjust these numbers to be able to get through. So it is how many rounds or how many reps is possible in 4 minutes. So you'll do this for 4 minutes. There will be some of you that be able to cruise right through it. The chest to bar obviously is going to be a bit of a pain. If I'm brand new, I'm only 2 to 3 weeks in and I have a shoulder injury, then I'm going to ask the coach, hey, what can I do to work on my shoulder? So it's going to be dependent on, does it hurt just hanging, or can I put a band, or could I do jumping pull-ups, or do I change the motion completely? You know, is it a seated dumbbell press, or is it totally off the shoulder and I'm just subbing something completely different? So in this case, let's just say it's a slight injury and you can still do pull-ups, just not chest to bar. So we would go with, say, banded pull-ups or maybe even ring rows to help take some of the pressure off the shoulder. You do want to get to these gymnastics movements. So as he says right there, you could change it to 21-15-9 rather than 27-21-15 so that you can move through them. When you get down to this lower count, you will be more tired, but it's also a faster movement when it's just pull-ups versus a chest to bar pull-up. So you'll probably be able to get through. If the gym is crowded, then we just simply offset people, which we usually have enough room, but you can run it in heats. So again, you can look through right here, read through strategy, rehearse, and all that. It's pretty cool stuff. This is an interesting one, the big clean complex. So the idea is that you do the entire movement without letting go of the bar. So there's 12 reps total, and you're going to hold on to it the whole time. So you want to get to a heavy weight, the heaviest weight you can get to, and still hold on to this bar. So it's 6 sets of the following. So slightly complicated, but you're going to do the high hang squat clean, a hang squat clean, a squat clean, and then a push press. And then without letting go of the bar, you can do the next 4 movements with a push jerk, and then the next 4 movements with a split jerk, and then you can put the bar down. So they give some time frames here, so maybe do it every 4 minutes to start a new rep. And some of you may be a little bit faster than that, but the idea is to work a heavy weight and learn to move that. So the timing's not necessarily, you don't have to go at the 4 minutes, but you also don't want to stand there taking 45 minutes to get through this. It's not supposed to be, or this will be something that the hard part is the grip. And so you've got to figure out a weight you can do to get through those 12 movements that's not going to have you drop it. So for me, I'm probably looking at like 12 lifts, all of those, maybe only even 95 pounds. So a brand new person coming in, it might just be the bar. These right here are kind of the push press, push jerk, not too bad. Split jerk might be a little bit kind of wonky, but the rest of it can be kind of complex. So you brand new person may say, okay, I'm going to focus on these hang squat clean. So maybe a hang squat clean, another one, and then a push press. So I would even change the workout a little bit so that I'm still doing the movement, but it's not as complex because I've only been here for, like I said, 2 to 4 months. Now, if my shoulder's having a little bit of issue, I'm going to have to reduce the weight or just be mindful of which one of these are really pressing on my shoulder. I would guess that the push press would have more shoulder complications than one of these two since you're jerking underneath it. And then for Thursday, Paul Bunyan, double unders. This will be probably calories on a rower and deadlifts. So again, being that I'm brand new, I'll probably do some single unders. The row is never too bad. Just make sure that you're using good form, and then I'm going to keep the deadlifts light. So we had just done a deadlift workout, so I should have an idea of what I can do in a deadlift. That was, I think, 20 of them in the shuttle runs. So you should have an idea. And so you'd be able to pick 15 and say, okay, what makes sense for me in this deadlift? Again, I know a lot of us are like, hey, I got to do it RX. It's not so much about RX as pushing your body. So you may look at this and say, man, my max on deadlift is 600 pounds. Totally fine to up the deadlift amount. And so what if you can't click RX? It's about you getting fit. If you are so hung up on I have to go RX to beat so and so and so and so, then while that is fun, you're kind of missing the point. It's about you and your personal fitness goals. So editing the workout because you're brand new is perfectly fine, just as fine as it is as editing it slightly because you're not brand new, right? So, or you may have something specific you want to work on, like, hey, double unders are a pain for me, or I can't do them, so I'm doing single unders, or I'm going to do more double unders, I get more practice, or whatever. Obviously, keep the same form factor, but everybody's different. If you've mastered the movements, then yeah, sure, you can make it a little harder on yourself. There's usually RX plus options, well, at least not in comp train, but usually Josh adds them back into there. So again, you can look at, what they would be doing for teaching, your rehearsals, then some strategy. And if I was brand new for 15 minutes, my strategy would be, I'm going to attempt some double unders if it's okay on my shoulder. So maybe I'll do 20 double unders, or at least count every one that I attempt, and then do the rest single unders. I could do probably all the regular calories here. And then I'm just have to play with that deadlift weight to see where I'm at. If I'm brand new, I'm probably not going to 225 because that's going to be stinky on your back. Probably drop it down to something like 135 or whatever felt good and last week's workout. And I'm about to hit the ceiling for which YouTube will let me upload. So here's the last workout. I'll also, I guess, yeah, you can see them all through there.